Section 8.2 is all about inventions. Between 1790 and 1811, there's going to be a massive amount of things that are going to be invented, not only for home purposes, but for industry. American technology is going to skyrocket. There is a rise in patent requests. Now, a patent is basically a recognition that you have invented something. So if somebody is to use that item, then they have to pay to use that patent, that item, the way you have designed it. The first thing we're going to look at is the steam engine. It's going to be the thing that is going to change how American transportation expands across the United States. They're going to use steam. Originally, the steam engine is going to be invented in the BC area. It's going to be invented by a Greek mathematician called Hero of Alexandria. But what happens in the 1700s is it'll be perfected for commercial use by a man called Thomas Newcomen. It uses in homes, it's going to be improved by James Watts in 1765. And you can see these pictures here. The first one here, this is of a small portable one, then the industrial size one here in the middle, and then one for farming purposes, the third picture here. Steam engines were used to heat steam to perform mechanical work. So not only can steam be used for power, but it can also be used in manufacturing to create things. The next thing that will be important is the cotton gin. Now, Eli Whitney, the person pictured here, in 1792, Eli Whitney is going to be approached by a woman who owns a plantation, and she's going to ask Eli Whitney, who is an engineer, to come and work on her plantation. And now she has this idea for this machine that will help process her cotton faster. Now he's going to take these ideas and these drawings, and he is going to build the first cotton gin, the one pictured here on the slide. It now only takes one person to sift 1 pound of cotton. Before this, one person could sift 1 pound of cotton a day, and only 60% of it was usable. But with the cotton gin, they could sift 50 pounds of cotton a day by feeding it into the system, and then 87% of it will be useful. Now, slavery is on the decline until the invention of the cotton gin. There wasn't as many bales of cotton being grown because there was only 60% of it is usable. And with the decline of it, there would be a decline in slavery. You didn't need as many. But with the cotton gin, where you could grow more cotton, sell more of it, produce more, buy more land, plant more cotton, you needed a larger slave population, larger labor force. So that's where slavery is going to expand in the South. In 1812, the cost of producing cotton is going to fall by 90% because you only need one person to sift through 50 pounds a day instead of 50 people in 50 days. It's going to spur a global market. Cotton becomes the new cash crop. We already have the Industrial Revolution setting itself up in that of Great Britain. Wool has been an industry standard for quite some time. And then they're going to use flax to create linen. So with the influx of cotton coming in, it's going to change the fabric market, change how people do things. And they're going to mix cotton in with various things. They're going to mix it in with wool, see what they can create. Mix it in with flax to create a different type of linen. Cotton becomes the new cash crop because less people are needed to grow it in the white population. So they can have these large plantations in the South with a small family running it, instead of like tobacco where you have hundreds of people growing tobacco and then they bring it to a central location. So cotton becomes very big, and it's all because of the cotton gin. The next thing that's going to change industry is vulcanization. Charles Goodyear, pictured here, in 1839, he's going to come up with a process that hardens rubber with sulfur, and that's where we have our Goodyear tires. It's going to change the process of tires, so you can get bigger tires, tighter tires that are better suited for rugged climates. So rubber becomes a huge thing, and rubber today is used in quite a lot of things. The next thing that is going to change is the sewing machine. The sewing machine is hugely going to change industry. Since the Industrial Revolution began with that of textiles, the sewing machine is what's going to help start the Industrial Revolution in the United States. Elias Howe was the first to invent a mechanized sewing machine, but it will be Isaac Singer who will revolutionize the clothing industry. The clothing industry by 1877, 75% of all the world's sewing machines are Singers. Even today, around 70% of sewing machines that people trust in the United States and across the world are Singers. Singers have been prevalent since this time, and almost everyone knows someone, an older individual that has a Singer sewing machine that is at least 60 to 100 years old, because there are millions of them out there. And when Isaac Singer built a sewing machine, he built it to last forever. So he had no intention that it should ever break down. The next thing we're going to look at is the telegraph. In 1844, Samuel Morse is going to invent a system of dots and dashes that is going to help send coded messages over a long distance. Any device or system that allows the transmission of information through dots and dashes. Most people know the most well known is SOS. That means help. So dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. It really is going to help spread information. Once they get telegraph lines across the country, no longer would you have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get information in, say, New Orleans. Now they could receive information within hours. Now, the Reaper, the next one, is going to help with agriculture. In 1831, Cyrus McCormick is going to develop the first commercially successful Reaper. As you can see pictured here, this is one that's pictured from Colonial Williamsburg, because they have recreated the McCormick Reaper. It's a horse-drawn machine that harvests wheat. So as you can see, the horse is attached right here, and then as this paddle turns, as the wheat is cut, it pushes it down. And once it gets to a point where that paddle doesn't turn anymore, you pull the wheat off, tie it up, and then you continue on. Prior to the Reaper, a person with a hand sickle, it would take maybe, you could do a half an acre a day at most. But with the Reaper, 2 people running the machine, one guiding the horse, one pulling the wheat off, you could do 12 acres in a day. So it's really going to speed up that of agriculture itself. Now, the other thing that's going to change agricultural processes in the United States is going to be the steel plow. In 1812, Jethro Wood is going to make improvements to a 1780 design for the steel plow, but it will be John Deere in 1837 that will change it completely. He's going to be the first one to market a cast iron plow. He's from Moline, Illinois, and this one right here is John Deere's plow that he created. The end there, this is a huge item. They're able to cut through dirt a lot easier than having rakes and hoes where you're digging it yourself. So this is really going to change how agriculture in the U.S. is processed. They could plow large fields in one day versus small sections every day. So it's really going to change how agriculture works. Now, what you need to do is move on to section 8.3, the Industrial Revolution.